All right, welcome to another edition of the Mile High Real Estate Spotlight Podcast. I'm Brian Arnold, your host. I'm excited today because sometimes we get to talk to, and I say this many times that it's strange when we're in Colorado and we all talk about us being natives or not natives. It's like the only state that I know of where we say, "Hey, are you a native or not?" Because it's cool to be from Colorado. And so Chelsey is on today. She is a native here. She went to Monarch High School. I went to Cherry Creek, and so we were kind of rivals at one point in time. But I'm a little bit older than Chelsey, so which is kind of cool. But she's an amazing real estate agent, and like I try to do all the time is I find the folks who are doing it and who are doing it well and know what they're doing. They're able to help clients in ways sometimes that maybe new people or people who are just transactional based do. And I can tell Chelsey is definitely a relationship-based agent. She's been doing it for about 12 years, which is so exciting. She also has a pretty big business in Oklahoma. So she was able to go to school in Oklahoma. She is an athlete. She was a golfer, which is huge. I wish I could be good at golf because it's one of those things if you don't play it often and often enough, you look silly out there. It is a technical sport. I was a track athlete, so I just have to run around the track, right? And I was able to do that. And as long as you're in shape and you work out, then it's just you pretty much are dealing with what God gave you in speed. Where you don't have to be as technical. I've coached high jump. So Chelsey, I've been a high jump coach. I've coached several. High school state champions. I've coached Olympians, that kind of stuff. And that is a very technical sport, one that I could not do. My son was a national champion in the NAIA.
Oh my God!
High jump, and so
incredible.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Athletic family.
There's something about athletes that just make a difference in relationships and working with people and understanding what it takes to get stuff done. So I'm excited to talk to you today, Chelsey, and we're going to find out all about you. But before we do, please let everybody know how to get a hold of you because I want them to write that down before they get excited about all the things we're going to talk about.
Probably my cell phone first because it is glued to me, unfortunately, and I'm working on that, but fortunate for my clients. 720-232-8796 is my cell. And then it's my email, Chelsey, CHELSEY.Franklin@porchlightgroup.com.
All right. Well, thank you. So let us know about, you can, like I said, you can start wherever you want in your story. I've said a little bit about you, but tell us like how, where you came from. How did you get involved in this real estate business, in this world of, different than most people who just go out after they graduate and work jobs. So
absolutely. So played golf. Golf took me to the University of Oklahoma, where I was a 4-time letter winner. Didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I have my major is in communication. And then I continued on to get a master's in intercollegiate athletic administration.
There you go.
I can coach collegiately, I guess, or do something administratively in college. And that wasn't what the universe had planned for me. Yes. Met my husband. He was a linebacker at OU, played for Coach Stoops, and Daniel decided to go to law school. We decided we wanted a family, but having a family is like the greatest thing that I've ever done. But then I'm a busybody and I want to contribute to the household income and I want to put deals together. So my dad suggested real estate and then it just took off from there. So I dabbled with, I think my day job really is real estate investing. And then secondary is brokering deals for clients.
Okay.
So it just worked out well. So that
is way cool. So the whole real estate investing world. Well, before we get that, how many children do you have?
I have 3. Oldest is 9. Bailey, Maddie is 7, and Jimbo James is 4. He's a handful.
Cool? I love it. Yeah. We actually have 8, and we have 13 grandkids already. So it is the coolest thing ever. I got a degree in broadcast communications, and then I ended up teaching at the university, teaching computers. However that happened is just crazy. I also got a degree in PE. So I have actually been coaching track now for 36 years. I
Oh
guess
my
this year you'll be 37. So there's one thing I've done consistently over time. I've taught at the collegiate level, at the high school level,
Oh
at the
my
little kid
gosh.
level, at whatever it's been.
That's
But there's just
incredible.
something about like having a family and having goals and wanting to,
Yeah.
as you say, you are a competitor, which
Yeah.
means that you're really good at this because you
Yeah.
just want to get stuff done and you want to
Yeah.
get people to the finish line, right? You want to
Oh
get
yeah.
people to the end to be able to get it done. So talk to me a little bit about investing. Like, so you're a real estate investor,
Yep.
and if people are watching this and they want to get kind of involved in investing or figuring that out, what are some of the things? It's not everybody just wants that. They got their first home, and now they're going, okay, what do I do next? How do I move forward? So maybe
Yeah.
talk to us a little bit about what that's like, or how to get involved in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people overcomplicate it. I
Okay.
think you just have to start buying and then you figure it out. And then you
Mm-hmm.
figure out what works and what doesn't work. I mean, the same principles that we put into effect for our primary residence are the same rules for investments, like the location. Everyone wants to buy a deal. And there's a product for every type of investor out there, dependent on how involved you want to be. Gosh, we have just so many different lenses when we're buying a product. Like, okay, we love this location. The house is crap. Should we tear it down? Should we flip it? Should we just put renters in it? Should we make it a class A type property to try to drive the rental income? It's just, I don't know. The real estate's so exciting because there's so many opportunities and it's just a game and you just gotta learn how to play it.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, and if somebody comes to you and say, I have no clue, I just want to
Where to
make
go?
some money
Yeah.
more than I'm doing. Well,
Yes.
is there a better place to start? Like is a certain property better to start because you don't know anything, or is it
Yeah.
just think
Yeah,
about it?
absolutely. I usually try to coach my clients into just to buying something turnkey. I'm
Okay.
actually pushing a lot of my first time investors towards brand new construction
Okay.
because you get the 1-year builder warranty on it. You don't have to deal with the headache of coming up with your own vendor list. Like, okay, my electrical's out. I don't have an electrician. I don't have a plumber. I don't have a foundation person. We simplify that. You don't need that for 1 calendar year. You're going to get a nicer tenant because it's a brand new product and we probably can push it on the rental income side. Obviously, trying to buy cash flow off the bat is ideal. It's harder in today's market just because we have a limited inventory and demand is high. So an investor is competing against first-time home buyers, people who are wanting to make a product their primary residence. So I think it's just buying the right house, but we can simplify it. And if you're cash flow neutral for the first year, that's okay because we can incrementally increase rents. The deals get better over time. As real estate appreciates, rental rates are appreciating, and we just got to lock you in, like lock in that 30-year fix. We don't have to get creative on the financing at all. Just lock, set it, get a great property manager, rinse and repeat, keep going.
Gotcha. I love that because I was a financial advisor for a while back in the 2000s when I had my first mortgage company.
Okay.
And one of the things that when I talk to people about investing, and I said you don't have to buy a property in Colorado. Colorado is expensive, right? Like Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I've been because
Yeah.
why? If you're going to do property management, you're going to do rinse and repeat.
You don't.
Why is it that you need?
I feel like people too often they want real estate's great because it's tangible. You can physically see the asset that you own. But I have pushed so many clients to Oklahoma because you actually can find cash flowing assets. The average sales price there is like roughly $250,000 for a single family home. Colorado's $550,000. So why don't we just like diversify? Let's go buy you 2 houses there versus 1 here. Like spread out the risk a little bit. Let's hire really great property managers. I know 1 or 2 really, really incredible people in Oklahoma if we're pitching Oklahoma, but you don't have to touch it. Think of it like a stock market. Like you don't know, you just kind of know their money's in the cloud. Be like, your house is out there. You don't have to go touch it.
Yeah, I had a friend who's now is developed. He's a developer. He did some stuff in Boulder. He just got 100 lots in Tennessee. You think of the
so
new build. Yeah, the new builds and
Yeah.
stuff that are there. I mean, I have a guy who bought like 3 properties for like 80 grand each, only having to
Yeah.
put down, like 10 grand to be able to, now you're an investor, right? You're a person who has the ability to do multiple. He's never even seen the properties.
No.
That's not my suggestion, is never see it, but
But I don't know where half my houses are. I think we have like 50-ish, and I don't know where. I mean, I know ballpark where they are, but
yeah.
my manager and my home inspectors were like, "Yeah, these are good buys." I'm like, "Okay, let's go."
Here we go. Yeah. So I think that is so cool. And it's a great point to make, especially on this podcast, because we can talk about, hey, the first time home buyer, which, I do a lot of lending. I do a lot of DPA programs and getting people into houses, which
Yeah.
I think is phenomenal. I do reverse mortgages. And so one of the purposes on reverse mortgages is to pull money out. Like I had a gentleman, he was going to rent out his basement. He's 85 years old. And he's telling me I need some money to pay for my taxes. And he goes, but I'm so scared if I rent out my house, the people are going to take advantage of me. Like, how do I get doors to lock between the floors and that kind of stuff? And my suggestion to him is, let's just take out the money. Let's go buy a condo. You buy a condo, now you have cash flow, and then there's nobody living in your basement that you're scared of. And so and now he's making no payment on both, right? So he's not making a payment on the one, his main house that we did the reverse on, and then we took out enough money to pay cash for the condo. And so now he has no payments, and he's got 2 properties, and he's able to do it. And so there's so many avenues, at least with the reverses, to be. I had a guy who bought a fourplex, out of state, and so he wanted to move out of state. He lives in one of the units in the fourplex. He rents it out to his other 3 buddies, and he's cash flowing money that without making a payment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's so many really cool ways.
We're going to do some deals together, because I feel like if you put a great mortgage broker and then a great realtor together, like, we can help people like create. It helps us out because this is the day job, but like, there's something so rewarding about helping other people like achieve financial freedom. And like, this is just a tool. Like, learn how to use it. Money's a tool. This is cool.
Money is an absolute tool.
Yeah.
So Chelsey, what makes, I already know, but let's tell everybody, what do you think makes you more an exceptional agent when you meet somebody and you start working with them? What are some of the things that you do with people that help them to open up their mind into the dream and to think of other possibilities? How do you do that?
I just have a lot of experience. I've been doing this for a while. And with my experience is confidence. I'm not speaking about like, oh, I read this on a blog. Like, I physically am living this. Like, I have so many examples on, whoops, one time I tore a house down. I probably shouldn't have done that. Like, those are big mistakes to like tell people, I can just, what are you into? Okay, let me help you put together like a cost analysis sheet. Let's talk about this flip. Let's talk about just like turnkey rentaling this. Let's figure out how we can keep your house. The amount of listings I've talked myself out of because I'm like, what are we doing? This would make an incredible rental. Let's just pull money out and go buy your next house. Like, no, I'm not selling this. Like, that's ridiculous. But I think just a lot of experience, and we can just like talk through things. I also, my husband, I mentioned, went to law school. So like having legal on like in our back pocket is helpful.
Yeah. Especially when you're structuring contracts and you're structuring stuff. I mean, I think that makes a lot of difference. Somebody can read over it and make sure you're not getting it. And maybe even for clients that are maybe that out of the box property or something that may be a little bit different. Yeah. I can tell having somebody in that world. There might probably not be a lot of those, but there might be some of those.
When they come up, everybody wants a lawyer. So it's like, oh, he's on speed dial.
I got one in my back pocket. I love that. Yeah. And I told everybody, you got to start somewhere, right? So let's get your first property, the one that you're living in. It may not, it's not your forever house. It doesn't need to be forever house, right? It just needs to be getting in because, I tell everybody, like, you're paying interest, like they're worried about the interest rates. And I'm like, you're renting right now. What is your interest rate? It's like 100%, right? Because you're not getting anything out of it. You're just giving money away. So stop doing that. And so like on your investment site, and you're talking to people and you're helping them figure out what to do. Is there a lot of time spent just, hey, trying to figure out where they're, like, what do you love? What do you don't love? What are you trying to achieve? What is your ultimate goal? Like, I see so many people, and I'll ask this specific question that say, I watched this show on TV
I
and I
know.
think I want to flip houses. What do you say to that person?
Your heart sinks a little, but then at the same time, like I made all those mistakes, and all you can do is like be a resource for somebody, and just maybe they can pull some nugget from you and learn from it. Cause this isn't like, none of us are making this up. There have been so many people, like the greatest wealth is held in real estate, and we're just copying the successful patterns. So hopefully people have enough wisdom to like pull from your mistakes and then like win off your wins. And I don't know, we're here a rising tide raises all ships. And so we're just trying to help as much as we possibly can. Yeah. And I mean, it's not rocket science. You absolutely can do it, but I think you should have your eyes open on what you potentially could run into.
So what do you tell somebody who's never done it before? They're like, I don't even know how much money I have to save up. All I know is that I want a house. You know, and can you help me? What do you say to that person?
Okay. Not on the flipping front, just start buying assets. I mean, I would say let's get with a great mortgage lender, because they don't need to tell me all their details. A lot of times people don't want to disclose their financials to me, which they don't need to. We just need to make sure you have a really good like quarterback who's helping you on that side. And all I need to know is that like, we're good to go. And then I'll help you navigate like the pros and cons of each houses. We truly put teams together for each transaction, and we're all working on the same side here. But I think like your best, I mean, at least this is still my strategy, like putting the minimum down as much as you can, which is why you'll see a lot of successful investors or people increasing portfolios move into a house, move every 2 years, because they were able to acquire that asset for as little down as possible. And then you keep moving and you keep as much money in your pocket so that you can continue to diversify and make good decisions. I mean, that's just not spending money because you want your money working for you. But I would start there.
I love that strategy to it. And I say the same thing. I moved over into the broker world because I had, instead of in the retail where they're trying to always get you to lend with, whatever that lender was that I was with, I said, let me go to the broker world where I can find whatever deal is best for, the client, what they're trying to get. If it's a bank statement loan, let's do a bank statement loan. If it's if we're going to turn over a construction loan, let's do a construction loan. If it's, whatever it is that's going to, and I love what you said is there's so many realtors that I work with that want to know every detail about like the loan and everything. And I'm like, let's just work together. I want your input. Absolutely. Because you've done this so many times and that might be, but let's not, go back and forth on you. They told you everything, and now you're trying to, like, well, what are you doing today? And what did they tell you today? Like,
you are the expert in your field. I'm the expert in mine. Let's like honor that, and you stay in your lane, and I'll stay in mine. But the end goal is still the same. So I won't step on your toes. Don't step on mine.
I am so loving this conversation because there's so many folks that we get that first house, and I told them, hey, even if it's a down payment assistant house, though, that we use somebody. Like I have a guy now that, he wants to move to Arizona. He got a house that was on a down payment assistant. It's great. He has to stay there 5 years, so he doesn't have to pay that loan back. And I'm like, why? You've got enough equity in it. Let's pay that loan off. Let's move to your next house. Let's move to the next thing. And now we're talking about investments and everything else. You got into the house perfectly because you didn't have the down payment at the beginning. But now your house over the last 5 years, when you did, or 3 years, I think it's been, it has grown in so much equity. We don't need to keep that house, or if you do decide to rent it off, when we need to pay off that loan. But let's move into this new house. That's
to piggyback off that too. There's like no dream scenario on like, this is the perfect way to buy an asset. You got to take it down, and it can change. Like you could help me buy a house today and then rates drop in 30 days. I'm like, oh, let's do a refi. Like that might seem silly, but it might make sense just depending on what I'm doing with our other businesses or my flip projects, or if I need to pull cash out. I mean, I think people need to make a deal in today's market because deals can be had. Like,
I
just take it
love
down,
that.
figure
I
out how
love
to
that.
make it work.
Whatever the market is, we're not waiting for 12
Play it.
months for the interest rates to go down.
Just play
There's
the
so many
market.
deals. Yeah.
Like,
Well,
even in 2008, housing prices were back, what, like a year and a half later?
Mhm.
So the people who panicked and sold it was like, but you could have just ridden it out. Like,
yeah.
because now, I mean, real estate doubles historically every 10 years.
Mhm.
Just play, I
It
mean,
does.
play it
That's what
out.
it
I don't
does.
know. Could be cool long term.
So, where are the gyms in Colorado? For the folks that, hey, I'm staying here. I love it. My wife's a California girl. So,
Oh,
I was in
okay.
California for 25 years
Yeah.
after I graduated high school, and they came back. And she's like, I am never leaving Colorado. And I'm like, we can move to Flagstaff. We can move.
The
She's
gym.
like, we can move to Texas. And she's like, I'm not going anywhere. So I love it here. All right. So we'll stay here. We'll just get another house somewhere we can do vacations and stuff. But where
Yeah.
are the gyms? What's happening in Colorado for the person who's going? I like my wife, who I just want to stay here.
The gyms. Okay. Like physical working out gyms.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Oh,
No, I'm talking
gyms.
about gym. Like, yeah.
Okay. Because
the
I
best
also, I own an Anytime Fitness up in Berthoud, and I was like, Brian did his research. He's like,
yeah,
to talk about my physical gym.
No, let's talk about that too. So we're Anytime Fitness. We're going to the one in Berthoud.
We're
Even
going
if
to
you live in
Berthoud.
Colorado Springs, drive over there and go do some workouts there.
Yeah. The hidden gyms. Oh my God. There are so many good little pockets. That's a difficult question, I think, because I feel like you just got to figure out what people are into and what they want quick access to.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know, like I live in Erie. It's a great, there's so many brand new schools. The people around me, everybody has little kids. So like summertime, we're all outside, like drinking a beer. Our kids are like, you know, ride chalk and bikes and whatever. But there's a lot of these little pockets, you know, so depending on where you're at in life, I'm also working with a bunch of retirees. So looking at 55 plus communities, you just kind of have to know how to search the MLS and know what's in your back pocket. But I mean, I feel like I don't want to answer that because it's hard to be like, oh, Denver wins over Boulder, because they both offer so many great, amazing
They do,
things.
and different things, you know, like a gym, right? For me, I'm in Green Valley Ranch, and there's no like workout gyms. And so when I worked at 24-hour, it was called Family Fitness at the time in the 90s, and I got my membership. And so I pay like literally $6 a month is what I get to pay for a lifetime at any 24-hour fitness in the country.
Oh yeah.
But I just got to find them, right? And so they're not around. I'm not going to switch that, but that's super important to me. I need to be able to go work out and not be trying to do everything in my basement, my house, because I don't do as well, you know, there. So that's important for, you know, we're Colorado, everybody exercises. People, you know, not everybody, but a whole lot of people do. People like mountain views, people like lake views, people like, you know, to be in a smaller facility than a bigger facility. So
Colorado has
I agree with you. It's a hard,
it's like such huge diversity too, you know, like even because I'm more north, like you see a difference in political affiliations too, like dependent on city, you know, like more ag roots or more hippy dippies of Boulder, which I grew up in, so I feel like I can say that.
Yes, I love it. My in-laws are planning on moving, and they're like, well, we want to move to Brighton. I'm like, okay.
A lot of new construction there. No, there's some good pockets. There's definitely good pockets.
Yeah,
you know,
there are. I have no issue.
I feel like there's like a negative connotation around Aurora too, which like growing up, like, oh my God, high crime rates. But I'm like, well, hold up. Like Stapleton's really close, like part of it interweave with Aurora, and that's like a phenomenal area, you know?
Yeah.
So
well, my kids went to Cherokee Trail High School, which is out in Southeast Aurora, and we lived out there, you know, while they were going to high school, and it was an amazing place to live.
I
you know, and it's in Aurora, right? And so
you got to find the pockets though too, and then be with a good realtor who's going to do the research on the area. You know, like this one pocket's good, but I wouldn't go a mile east or west or you know. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
Cool.
Chelsey, we're kind of, we have been talking, and we could keep
We go all
going
day.
on, and I'm gonna, yeah, we maybe we can have just a special investment show at some point,
We
and so I'm gonna
should.
have you back on. Yeah, I think we should do it. We should just talk about it and
Yeah.
make it for whether it's for real estate agents or for clients or whoever. We'll do a
Great.
special one and have you come back. So
Okay.
tell everybody how to get a hold of it, because I want you guys to call her. Right? If you've heard something that sparked your interest today, make sure that you're calling her. So how do we get a hold of you again?
Yeah.
And then maybe
cell phone.
Yeah.
Yep. My cell phone, 720-232-8796. Email is Chelsey, Chlsey, .franklin@porchlightgroup.com.
Absolutely. Any other closing thoughts? I mean, I can tell you're a tiger. You got one behind you in your screen. There we go. I love it.
I know. Yeah, that's how I live my life. It's my credo.
There we go. I love it, love it, love it. What closing thoughts do you have for folks today?
Thank you. Don't be scared. Worst thing that can happen is we have to pivot, and then you learn from the pivot. That's all that can happen. Life gives you lessons. Make lemons out of it. Lemonade out of the lemons. All the cliche statements. But it's exciting.
Well, cool. Well, like I said, at the end of every show, I love to say, first you can do this. If there's one thing that Chelsey has taught us today, that there are opportunities all over the place, and real estate is one of those places when you can start creating generational wealth. So you can do this.
There you go.
Second thing is, you deserve this, right? We live in a country that has put together some of these rules and models and places that if it successfully clues where real estate is a good place to do it. So you deserve this. And the last thing is, let us help you. This isn't something that you needed to be for. She talked about experience today. She talked about having, the experience to know, maybe the best road to go, even if it's a consultation, like, hey, I have no clue. What do I do? Hey, I love it. I love it. The babies. I have one at the end of the day.
Day job number one. Sorry.
Day job number one. That is so awesome. I love it, love it, love it. That is the most important thing. And I love that family becomes another one, because it is the impetus for doing everything that we want to do. So thank you for being here for another episode of the Mile High, Spotlight podcast. We are going to come back. We're going to do an investment show. Chelsey, I love the fact that you're here. Thank you for being here. We will talk again. And you guys have a wonderful, awesome, just incredible day. We'll talk with you guys soon.
Best day ever. Thank you.
This is Brian Arnold, and if you are listening to this part, you've just watched one of our episodes of the Mile High Real Estate Spotlight, where we've just talked to one of the best of the best. And I want to thank whichever guest that was here. They are phenomenal. They are amazing. They are the top of the top, the best of the best that are in our industry that are here with us today. And so I encourage you to please call them, pick their brains. They work for you. They enjoy working for you. They are incredibly good at it. And so I want to make sure that you give them a call. So whoever you listen to, whichever one you saw that you were there, please do that. The other thing is, everyone deserves a home. Everyone deserves a home. I say that at the end of my show. You deserve it. Let us help you do it. My goal is to make sure that we see homeownership. It just sickens me to see apartment complexes continue to go up, because I know those are people who haven't been able to make the call or figure out a plan. So let us help put that plan together for you. I have some websites that allow you to do that, and I'll put those in the bottom, but please do. I am a lender. I do work in the lending space. If you do not already have somebody who's pre-qualified you, I would love to be able to have that opportunity to earn your business and qualify you. My number is 720-682-2223. That's 720-682-2223. Give me a call anytime, and I would love to be able to help you with that. We also do living trust. And so when we think about an estate, to try to avoid probate and make sure that doesn't happen. So whether it's you, if you own a home, and you should have a living trust. And I will say that everyone not just deserves it, everyone needs a living trust if they own a home. And then finally, just wanted to thank you for watching these episodes. And so please tune into more. Would love for you to see and be able to shop around. So thank you for doing that. Again, I want to make sure that you know that you can do this. You deserve this. and let us help you make it happen. You guys have an awesome, wonderful, awestruck, incredible day today.